What's up, everybody? Welcome back, FPL Fantasy, the game week we have all been waiting for since probably the teens for the game week. Well, double game week, 36. Every single team that we care about has a double game week, and the fixtures aren't the worst either. But before we get into it and what type of teams you might want to look at for a bench boost, for a free hit, I have my number one co-host, my man Doc, with me here to talk about it. Doc, what is up, my man?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Doctor again. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to this episode. We're going to talk about bench boost, free hit, the whole thing. I hope you enjoyed the previous episodes. Thanks for the new subscribers, and let's get into this.
Yeah, let's get right into it, Doc. I got your team coming up first on the lineup. Would you like to talk about the bench boost a little bit and what you're doing, what you're thinking?
Yeah, so I'm coming off a great game week. I went from top 7K to top 3K. It worked magic. It worked magic. I wildcarded the game week before, and I actually dropped rank. It was a big drop as well. It was like 70% drop, so I was extremely unhappy. But going into this game week, thank you, Sonaldo. 2 goals and the assist. He was my captain, and I jumped into the top 3K. At this point, if you offer me 9,999 rank, a 4-digit rank, I would take it right now. Although I have my bench boost available for me. The target is top 5K kind of aim that I have right now, but I would take top 10K at the moment.
I like it. I like it. And yeah, that was, you and me both had great weeks in 35. I think I ended on 76 and you were at 80 points. So I think we both had amazing weeks, which was awesome to see. Because if we didn't, what would our words on this show mean?
Well, we didn't last game week, and it wasn't very good. It wasn't a very good episode, but yeah, it's nice to go into the next game week with a nice green arrow. It's always nice. It gives you confidence. I believe confidence is a big thing in FPL. I know it sounds weird, but you kind of don't take bad decisions. You don't go through bad thought processes. You do not have to go ultra differential when you have a very good game week. And when you go ultra differential, you're basically increasing your risk in order to get a better reward, right?
This guy right here. We'll find out soon.
This guy is always on ultra risk, ultra reward.
The one thing that I wanted to ask that'll probably come up in my team also is, I know a lot of people are talking about this random no-name from Everton, Richarlison, instead of Watkins. Is that somebody that you're thinking about maybe making the switch for, or why not?
If I had a chip, I might have thought about it, but I would like to keep Watkins for game week 37. They have a double again. So no, I'm not doing the switch. Well, at least not for now. Maybe some team news, because we're recording this on Thursday afternoon as usual. So maybe some team news will come out that will force my hand into some transfers. But at the moment, I'm keeping Watkins just for the fact that he has not one extra fixture. It's just because I don't think I can explain the transfer, especially I can use the transfer to, actually, if you look at my team right now on the screen, I can use the transfer to turn Pookie into Richarlison next game week. So I'm not really fussed about that, at least not yet.
Yeah, and for anybody that hasn't heard, Richarlison did take the smoke canister and throw it back into the stands. He's not going to face any repercussions or anything that would affect FPL. He's going to face little repercussions for a guy that makes more in a week than I do in 6 years. You know, he's going to get a little slap on the hand and say, don't do that again. But he will be playing this game week.
Yeah, it looks like, by the looks of it, that he's just fine. I read yesterday on Twitter, I think that's on the Daily Mail, so it's not the best source in the world, but on the Daily Mail that the police investigation has started, but I wouldn't take it very seriously. It might be the case, but I don't expect anything to come out of it. Nobody was hurt, kind of thing. A fine should suffice, because I mentioned that on Twitter as well, that if they ban him, some people will be unhappy. They think it's unwarranted. If they do not ban him, then people will think it's normal and it's fine to throw objects at things if it doesn't hit people. So they have to do something, and I think a fine is kind of keeping both camps happy type of thing. So I can see him playing this game week, yes, unless something changes in the next 48 hours.
Yeah, I think we should change this season to be called the season of police investigations. Like, what is going on with Premier League players? Mendy
Yeah.
disappeared for bad business. Zuma got in issues with his cat. Sigurdsson doesn't even exist in the world anymore, and now we have a police investigation about throwing a canister back into the stands. I
And you
think
have Greenwood as well.
uh yeah, Greenwood as well. See, there's so many I'm forgetting them now.
Yeah.
And I think the closest we ever had to that was when the two Arsenal boys got in trouble with the mafia or whatever it was that were trying to kidnap them or something. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a crazy year. The police are busy, definitely, in England. Doc, I see also you have Man City James Foden, and he played a bunch of minutes. How are we still feeling about that?
I'm not happy. The moment, as a Man United fan, I wanted kind of Real Madrid to win, right? But the moment Real Madrid scored the second and I knew it was going into extra time, I was like, no, because I just don't want Foden to play 120 minutes because he was kind of guaranteed, not guaranteed, but he will get at least started the double game week. And now I'm not so sure. There is decent rest time between the two matches. Well, at least not between the two matches, between the midweek and the weekend, but still, now with Pep might rotate and everything, so I was very unhappy. But I took his 9 points last game week, so that was the transfer that I made this game week, and I got the 9 points. He's staying in my team unless he's injured, but now you just hope.
Yes, exactly. I completely get that. Foden isn't coming near my team, maybe before James, but that's about as close as he's getting. But I can respect holding on to him, and yeah, that I feel for you owners. I feel for you owners this week now.
Yeah, it was from an FPL point of view, it was extremely unlucky. Like the match ends, you're happy. He played only 90 minutes. He will play the next, let's say 75, and the one after 70 minutes, and you're happy. But now, a benching is a possibility. Yes,
For sure. So, is there anything else you'd like to get into with your team here? Kind of mention any maybe transfers, maybe not.
well, at the moment, I'm probably gonna roll my transfer, but there is a high chance actually I move from Mount to Saka. The reasoning is I expect Mount not to play 180 minutes this game week. They have ridiculous fixtures, but Saka will have an extra fixture if you think about it. Yes, it's against Tottenham maybe, but he's an attacker. He might score goals. He's on free kicks. He's on penalties. So I'm very, very, very tempted to use this transfer just to do Mount to Saka. That's one. But the main point, the main transfer I'm eyeing is Pukki. This game week, Norwich has been officially relegated, and mathematically they cannot be unrelegated, let's say. So I'm not sure what Dean Smith will do here. I'm waiting for his press conference and see what he says, if he's going to use his starting lineup. Because if I was the manager, right, and there is some issues with Pukki's contract, I think he's up for renewal and he still hasn't renewed. If I was Norwich manager, I would try to bring youth, some players who didn't get the chance to play during the season, and try giving them some game time. You're relegated anyway, so why would it matter? So give them some experience, maybe prepare them for the championship, and try to come back to the Premier League next season. So there is a chance that Pukki might not get the minutes that we want. So in that case, I will look into transferring out Pukki for someone else. At the moment, I don't have any in mind, probably Dennis, maybe some Watford boys, but I haven't given it a serious thought because I'm kind of hoping I roll the transfer this game week. But those are the two transfers that I have in mind looking at my team. The rest of the team I'm happy about. There's one, let's say, everybody's noticing one player with a single game week. So I have 14 players with double game week on the bench boost, which is Guaita. I have 0.1 in the bank. I cannot go anywhere except for Tim Krul, which someone suggested on Twitter. I'm not going there. Thank you very much. I'm sticking with Guaita, and let's see how it goes. So this is regarding my bench boost team. A lot of people are taking hits. I wanted to mention this in our video, that a lot of people are taking hits, -4, -8, -12, -16s I've seen even on Twitter in order to bench boost. Hits kind of can be explained during the double game week, especially if you're bench boosting to set up your team into the bench boost, but I wouldn't take more than -12, to be honest. Like, I would settle with a single game weaker if that person is going to start. So, what do you think? Like, would you go above -12, Joe?
Depends on what my team looks like in the moment.
Right?
If it looks like if I'm taking hits and it looks like my team is not sustainable for a couple weeks, I'll do a -12. I'll even consider a 16.
Right.
But if I have players that can be sustainable and I'm looking at 38, I'm like, okay, I have an alright team for 36, an okay team for 37. Now, I can get this team by 38 without any hits. Great, I'm going that route. But if I don't have a team to sustain those 3 weeks, I'm throwing the hits out like crazy. And I've also mentioned on here that in game week 38, I tend to just make up a fake wild card. Who knows if I'll do it this year? I could take -24 or whatever and just completely rearrange my team and be like, at the end of the season, this would be the team that I want now.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm playing at. I've mentioned in the past 2 or 3 episodes that one of the ways I'm going to play the game is try to go into game week 38 without hits, because this is when everybody will go crazy. It's the last game week. You want to chase a rank that you want. You'll take a couple of hits here and there. There are a couple of players who you haven't planned to bring before are tempting. For example, the Spurs. Spurs are playing Norwich, right? And if Spurs are playing for fourth, they will go guns blazing at Norwich. So a lot of people will be tempted to go Son, Kulusevski, and Kane, for example, and they will require a couple of hits to bring in. So hits fly in game week 37, 38, especially when you have double game week 37 as well. So my differential sort of is going into those game weeks without hits, but getting the players I want throughout the way. That's why I'm hoping I can roll this game week. So I can go into 37 with 2 transfers and I can set up for 37, 38. But yes, I agree with you. It's totally team dependent. I absolutely agree. Because you have to take transfers also in isolation, right? If player A will bring you 4 more points, 4+ points over player B, then you just take the hit. So I totally agree with that. So you have to isolate the transfers. But it's really hard to get -16 and above back if you have only two game weeks to go.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing about this game week is because there are so many doubles, you don't have that whole mindset of a transfer is a -2 rather than a -4. And that's something else that I love, taking hits on doubles because there's that opportunity there. But it's not so much there this game week, for sure. The one thing that I wanted to mention, because you were talking about the Spurs, is that Son has actually been, and I don't know if you saw this, Son has actually been the leading scorer in FPL 3 out of the last 6 game weeks. Yeah, he's been a machine lately. So I don't know, keep in mind, maybe he is that interesting differential captain, since it seems like everybody else is out here just throwing the captain on Salah.
Yeah. I have him in my team and I wouldn't captain him. It's going to be automatically Salah, not only because it's going to protect my rank, but because I think that Salah will play 90 and 90 probably. He was rested recently, so I don't see him why not. And it's Salah at the end and he has Aston Villa. So I think Salah is the automatic captain for me. But yes, if you want to go differential, because the way that Spurs opponents are going to play, they are well set up for the way Spurs play, if you know what I mean. Over the top counter attack, Kane dropping back, one header into Son one-on-one type of goal thing. So Son is a great differential if you were going to captain him this game week. Otherwise, I think a lot of people will own him anyways. He's going to be around 85-90% effective ownership. So yeah.
Yep. All right, Doc, we've talked about your bench boost. You ready to get into the free hit? All right, Doc, I am putting up on the screen my current free hit team. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers are looking at it and being like, that doesn't look like 3/4 of the free hit teams that I've seen or anything close to them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here for a little different. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to be the guy that's going to switch up my team right at deadline. I mean, unless there's team news or something that comes out, but right now I'm feeling good and I'm feeling comfortable about this team. So, to explain my team a little bit, I have some of the crazy ideas that I've done is I have Jesus and Mahrez sitting in my team. Now, Jesus has been on fire in the Prem. He's out there scoring goals. Yes, he only scored one last week, but we're saying he only scored one because he scored four and assisted a fifth the week before. Otherwise, we'd be like, wow, he scored a goal. I don't know. Maybe things are clicking there. So I think Jesus has the form in the Premier League, and if I remember right, he didn't play the full UCL game. And then Mahrez,
I think he played 90 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm talking full from 120.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the extra 30 minutes that'll kill you sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. It does actually. That's the difference between Foden being a starter or no, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And another good shout was with Mahrez because he got subbed off. What, couple minutes after KDB did, which was a couple minutes after he scored his goal. And I was excited to see that because I know we've been talking and you've seen my team earlier in the week. I had him in there and nobody was talking about him. All of a sudden he scores a goal and he gets subbed and everybody's like, Mahrez is the guy to get. You gotta bring him in. KDB, he's good. Like if you have the money for KDB, bring him in. But Mahrez is the guy that you want. I'm like, get off my differential. Leave me alone. But yeah, so I'm excited the way that the UCL went because Pep knew that the Premier League is more important than the Champions League apparently. So he made all those subs and he's trying to save face in the Premier League and not let Liverpool win, which between the two, I don't really care. Just make sure the players I have in my FPL team get points. And
fair enough.
yeah. And something that's different on my team is I haven't had Salah for the last couple weeks. Now he's back in. I mean, how can we pass up on fairly decent Liverpool assets, especially on a double? So Salah and Trent, they're sitting there holding my Liverpool spots right now. And then I have Gordon. Seems like fair enough fixtures. Gordon has been known to go off a little bit, especially for Everton. Everton's been... I don't know if they've been playing better or if other teams have been playing worse or it's both, but something's happening there because, well, Everton's also in the relegation fight. So it's good to bring in one of those guys. And then I have Watkins because Watkins has been a critical part of the attack, which I know isn't necessarily a differential pick here, but just something to point out, and especially because everybody's like, oh, Richarlison. I feel like Watkins is more of a linchpin currently on the Villa attack than Richarlison is in Everton. Now, yes, Richarlison just is the boss on the field, and he can just take the ball and do what he wants, but I don't appreciate that. So that's why Watkins gets the spot. Now I may make the move towards the deadline, but who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of time between now and the deadline currently. And then some final stuff is I have Justin. I could possibly move him to Amarty to free up 0.9 in cash, but I'm not really sure where I would float that money. I was looking to upgrade my other defender with a 0.9, but any of the defenders that I really want are out of that price range, which was, I think, 5.2, if I remember right. So right now, just stuck with that kind of bench, and I'm not disappointed in it. If I'm playing a free hit, I want 90% of my money to be sitting on the field and at least hope that there's 2 points to come off the bench, which he's got a double, so there's 4 points to come off the bench if need be. What do you think, Doc?
It wouldn't be a Joe team without being a lot differential and Maverick. I wasn't expecting anything less of that, so I wasn't surprised when I saw the team. I wouldn't approach it that way. I see the point of going, for example, Mahrez and Jesus. I just double checked while you were talking. Jesus was taken off yesterday on the 78th minute, so there is a high chance, yes, he
Even
starts
better.
probably the double. Yeah, even better, exactly. So, and Mahrez performed well yesterday, so I think there is a good chance that he at least will start the next game, at least one game in the double. I wouldn't approach it that way. I would probably have a double City defense, especially the type of opponents that they lack goals that they're playing. So I'd probably punt or at least bet on double City defense. And I use this a lot on our channel, the word spine. I have a spine in mind. So if I had a free hit, I would have a team and then have a few differentials around. So the spine will include probably two City defenders, Schmeichel as a goalkeeper. You have Justin is your Schmeichel to a certain extent, but Schmeichel is more guaranteed minutes. So if I were you, I would kind of rotate Lloris and Justin. So get a Spurs defender, maybe Romero, maybe Dyer, maybe Ben Davies to save money, and then get Schmeichel as a goalkeeper. So I would do that if I were you. For example, that's one of the feedback that I have. Then you have the spine of Saka, Son, Salah, which I have, and Gordon in the middle. So I have no comments there. It's the rational way to play the game. Between Watkins and Richarlison, we talked about it earlier in the episode now. But on a free hit, I would probably go Richarlison. So I'm planting the seed because Richarlison has a relatively two easier fixtures than Watkins. Watkins has Liverpool, so effectively you are hoping that he scores well in one of the fixtures and then maybe hope there is an assist or a goal versus Liverpool because you don't expect much more. He can. They've done it Aston Villa before, but you wouldn't bet on it. You wouldn't bet your house on it. So I like this team. It's Joe, but still it's not out there crazy Joe. So yeah, you have kind of some of the spine, and I see why you would go for some of those players. Yeah.
And the thing that I forgot to mention, because he's at the top of my screen, and that's basically a blind spot as far as I'm considered. Lloris, my man. You can check my Twitter. I'm putting my money where my mouth is on that one. I said Lloris is the best defender the Spurs have now that Horty's out, and I'm sticking to it.
Sure.
I'm doing it.
But it's not Lloris as much as Justin for me. If Justin's going to start the next two, fine, fair enough. But I see more minutes from Schmeichel than Justin, right?
Oh,
so you might as well just do the switch. But yeah, I remember the tweet and I remember like the previous episodes. Yeah, fair enough. If you want to go for Lloris, fair enough. But my issues with Justin more than Lloris, to be honest.
Yeah. No, and I completely understand that. The other thing that I don't like about it is everybody has Schmeichel now on a free hit. Boring. So lame. Imagine if Lloris gets more points than Schmeichel.
Quite a possibility.
Stare people down on Twitter all day.
Because Arsenal will take a lot of shots versus Spurs, and he's gonna collect those save points. So oh my God, you're gonna be so smug when Lloris outscores Michael.
Yeah.
I'm muting you on Twitter. That's it, man. Until the game week ends.
Exactly. You might need to because everybody's like, well, I would really go for Schmeichel. I'm like, yeah, but I wouldn't.
Yeah. I'm waiting for this, whatever you call it, GIF, whatever you want to call it. Like this, I told you.
Yeah. That's my James GIF. Because everybody's like, I brought in James. He's supposed to explode. His XG was insane. He should have gotten 50 assists. Why didn't Chelsea get a clean sheet? And I'm like, because he's James, guys. Because he's James. He can only he can only get points one game week a quarter during the year.
Well, I thought you were crazy in the beginning of the season, but I put my hands up and I say, like, fair enough, you were right.
Yeah. No, a lot of luck A lot of luck went my way, so I could brag about that nonstop throughout a whole season.
Yeah. I'm gonna listen to you about this more next season, hopefully.
It won't be the same next season, I promise. I'll have something completely different I'm on now.
Now, I expect you to become Analytics FC next season. No? Not a
I'm
chance.
leaving.
Not a chance.
All right, so Doc, is there anything else you'd like to mention about my free hit? I think I've covered all my insane picks for the week.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, who are you captain? Here we go.
There's a lot of fun picks because Salah is your safe pick. Son is an interesting pick, but historically over the last 6 game weeks, you have Son gets the most points in FPL, somebody else does, then Son, then somebody else, then Son. Right now it's somebody else's week. I don't think I can I can risk it on that.
All right.
Mahrez is an interesting one though, because Mahrez can explode.
I was just about to say, have you considered a City asset? Maybe even kind of tinker with your team and try to get KDB and captain him.
Oh man, you just want my team to look like every free hit team, don't you?
Okay, okay. I take it back.
No,
so, I think Mahrez is a great shout, by the way. Like a Joe shout, if you want to go for it. But the rational thing to go for, because you're on a free hit, you're already a differential sort of thing, especially around your rank. So I expect a huge green arrow for you, even if you captain Salah.
Yeah, and I was even thinking like kind of what I've been saying. You know, I've reached the highest point. I think now is actually the highest rank I've ever been in FPL. I'm feeling good. I'm making slightly crazy picks, but with some reasoning behind them, and for the most part, they're working out for me. And at this point, it's about having fun. Just getting out there, making those fun picks, making those picks that like nobody is even thinking about. The guy that has gotten like 3 assists the last game week and is completely under the radar. Yeah, sure. I'll pick that guy all day now. All of them are in my team. If you have gotten more than 2 points, just come into my team. I don't care if it's 3 because you're a midfielder. Come on down.
Yeah, it's an absolutely. I like the team, to be honest. Like I approve of it. I would approach it a bit differently, like I said, but
yeah,
that's why you're Joe. I'm the dog. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm either going to drop 100K or I'm going to shoot up 200. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah. This is how Joe plays the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Doc. Well, with that, we've discussed our bench boosts. Well, your bench boost. We've discussed my insane free hit that could pay off extremely well. Could not. There's only one way to find out. Soccer's played on grass, right, baby? So I think we've kind of covered all of the main topics this week for FPL double game week 36. Anything else you'd like to say to the people here?
I would like to say I appreciate everybody being here. Drop a like, subscribe. We're closing in on 100 subscribers, so we appreciate it. And we will see everybody on the next episode.
Share with your friends, your family. Mother's Day is coming up this weekend on Sunday for us, so share it with your mom. Let her subscribe. She'll love it. We're 2 charming young lads. It'll be perfect for her. But thank you everybody for watching to the end of the video. Echo exactly what Doc said. Like, subscribe, comment. We're around. We're looking for interactions. We love talking to people in the community and just talking about FPL in general. So till next time everybody, let's get in double game week 36. Peace.